Morning. Hope you're all well. We'll wait another 30 seconds to see if more people are coming. Morning, Katrina. Yeah, maybe pop in the chat if you're here. It's nice to know who's joined. Morning, Shona. As I say that, it starts happening anyway. I've got this, haven't spoken to anyone yet throat this morning. So it'll ease in as the class goes, but I can hear it's a bit husky. Yeah, great. Okay, make sure you have your notebooks and some water or tea or coffee. And yeah, maybe I'll just go through the class, and if people are joining, I can let them know. But we're going to focus on communication today. As I say with a husky throat. And as always, we're going to do a bit of breath work, do some written tasks, and we'll meditate and then reflect at the end. Don't know if there's anything else I need to say. Finding a comfy spot, maybe away from distractions. So if you have quite a busy house, maybe closing the door. Or if it's a bit noisy outside, or if building works or something, you could close the window. Yeah, trying to find that nice little spot where you can be for this class is always a good thing. Yeah, maybe we'll get started. So just before we do breath work, we're going to do a little bit of just moving the body a little bit in the morning, just kind of mobility. So we're going to drop the chin, and we're just going to do some semicircles from shoulder to shoulder. So dropping the chin and going to one shoulder and the other and the other. Just kind of go in between these two places in your own time. And keeping the chin dropped in the middle, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our heads and just moving our chin from side to side, relaxing the elbows. Letting that go, rolling up. And we'll just drop one of our ears to one of our shoulders, hand over the head, and you can pull that arm away, maybe touching your ground or going even further. I'm trying to relax this shoulder as much as possible so you're not cramming it towards your ear. So you've got a nice long line from the crown of your head all the way to your fingertips, reaching the ground. And tucking the chin in, head, hand over head. And coming up, other side. Ear to shoulder, hand over head, arm pulling away. Trying to relax it as much as possible. And tucking the chin in, hand over head. Helping yourself up and maybe just rolling your shoulders out. And we'll roll them backwards a few times. And forwards. And just doing anything else you need to do. If you need to stretch your sides out, or continue stretching your neck, or pushing the back away, or pulling the shoulders back. Just kind of moving, finding what you need for another 30 seconds. Lovely. And returning just to your seated position when you're ready. And we'll just close down the eyes, or we'll lower the gaze. Do have some building works going on outside. So if you do hear the odd hammering or metal clanging, that's what it is. Hopefully it sounds like a chime. And with our eyes shut, we're just going to notice how our body is feeling since we've been there first. So since we moved our body and warmed up a little bit, but also just given it a bit of movement that maybe we haven't done yet this morning. How does it feel? Is it feeling quite awake or a bit stiff and sore? Lovely. Maybe doing a quick body scan from the top of the head all the way down to the feet. So since we moved our neck and our head, how are they feeling? Could even notice how the face is feeling. And how the collarbones and the shoulders that we rolled out. And down the arms. And the weightedness of your elbows and your wrists. How about your chest? Does it feel like it's coming forward or leaning back? Maybe if it's forward, you could turn the palms to face up. So you're no longer gripping, you're kind of opening up instead. And if you've just joined us, we're just doing a little body scan. And where are the ribs? Are they relaxed? Are they flared? Are you leaning to one side or the other? Try to just straighten up a bit. How about the pelvis? Does it feel nice and grounded and weighted, or do you feel like maybe you're gripping it a little bit? And as you run through each of these parts, just trying to relax bit by bit, whilst keeping this strong alignment. And how are your legs feeling? Whichever position you've picked them to be in today, whether it's cross-legged, legs out in front, maybe you're on a chair. How are your legs? Then moving a bit more internally. How is your breath this morning? So noticing where your breath's at. Maybe you haven't noticed it yet. So taking a minute just to notice your breath, not changing too much at first before we start to breathe a bit deeper and deeper. And gradually in your own time, just letting that inhale in and out of the nose become fuller and deeper. Reaching all the way to the pit of your belly and all the way up past your collarbones. Can you feel like you're filling your front, your side, and your back body all at the same time? And we're going to take the deepest inhale we've taken all day through our nose, and we're going to forcefully exhale through our mouth. We'll do this twice. So inhaling, exhaling. One more, big one. And opening the eyes, maybe shaking out the body, rolling the shoulders back a little bit, grabbing water, tea, coffee, whatever you have. We're going to do some written tasks. So, like I said at the beginning, but if you weren't here, we're focusing on communication this morning. and how we communicate with ourselves, with others. Mainly those two parts. So usually at the start of class, I ask you how you're feeling before we go on to the body scan and the internal scan, and then we do the breathing. And I deliberately didn't ask you how you're feeling emotionally because I want to do that now. So for the first question, I want you just to write down, how are you feeling in this moment? How would you respond to that? How are you feeling in this moment? Take your time to answer that question. Okay, just rounding up your answer for that question. Sorry, not sure how loud that is across the laptop. Sometimes this mic doesn't pick stuff up, but apologies if it's loud. It feels quite loud for me. Okay, we'll move on to the second question. So it's kind of a two-parter question, but we're going to answer it in one. So what is something you've been overthinking lately? Often we pick on different things in our life and worry and stress about them in the build-up, and then more often than not, they're absolutely fine when they happen. For instance, if I can think of an example for myself, getting the vaccine. I'm not a big hospital doctor, dentist person. Any sort of needle and work doesn't make me feel great in the build-up. And then when it happens, it's actually fine and it's okay. But I really, really overthink the build-up and then get really nervous and kind of anxious and panicked about it. And so that's something that I was overthinking a lot lately. And then the second part of that is, could you write down an action that might calm this overthinking? So to write something you've been overthinking lately and an action that might calm this overthinking. Yeah. Great. So taking your time to finish up that question, or the answer to that question. Okay, and so for the third question, I would like you to answer this. How would you describe your style of communication with others? You could write that in words, in sentences, you could write a list, or how it makes you feel, anything at all. How would you describe your style of communication with others? Great, so finishing that one off when you're ready. And for the final question, flipping that question around on yourself. So how would you describe your communication with yourself to be? How would you describe your communication with yourself to be? And go. I find often we can either be better at one or the other, or sometimes one is a bit stronger than the other, or maybe they're both equal, but more often than not, one is slightly better than the other. Okay, and finishing that off, we could pop our pen and paper to the side when you're ready. Maybe having another drink, settling down, getting ready. We'll do a little bit of pranayama, and then we'll meditate to finish. Fab. So, since we're talking about communication, I thought we would do a throat chakra pranayama. So just a breathing technique that focuses on the throat. Since mine is a bit croaky, this might not sound so nice, but we will go with it. So we might have often heard the word like or like AUM or UM when we're almost chanting the but for the throat, it's better, or the words and the letters that we use to hit that chakra is HAM. So ham, and your lips don't touch. So we'll do it 4 times. We'll just inhale, and when we exhale, so for instance, we'll go hum, and try not to let the lips touch, so I had a tiny, tiny gap in between. And when you feel like you've got to the end, take another breath. We'll do it again. Let's actually do it twice instead of 4 times, just for time. So we're going to inhale all together. Taking a big inhale and exhale when you're done, and closing your eyes down. Just noticing how that feels in your throat. Maybe you felt it vibrating your chest. Maybe you don't chant or sing often, so noticing how that made you feel emotionally before letting that go. Our mind is an incredibly powerful force. It has the ability to tell us what we want to hear and attach meaning to almost anything. Try to not let your analytical mind overrule your intuition. Move from a place of overthinking into a state of being. Now that is much easier said than done, and quite often we're in the other mind. But like we wrote down, we can look at practical actions that can calm this and try and be more in the moment, in the now, when we communicate, whether that's with ourselves or with others. Even the language we use to describe ourselves to others, or to even in our own head to ourselves, is so important. I've got 3 questions I'd like you to think about in your mind with your eyes shut. And you don't need to have any answers. You don't need to know what to say to yourself. Just let them sit in your mind, and if anything comes up, that's great. And if not, that's also great. Just let these questions sit with you. Do you need to voice any concerns or desires? How would you like your communication with others to be? How would you like communication with yourself to be? Nat Turner said, "Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity." Nat Turner said, good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity." We're going to bring our palms together with our eyes shut. We're just going to rub our palms as fast as we can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And place them over your eyes and your face. Feel the heat on your skin. We're going to inhale through the nose and take a really deep breath. Exhale out the mouth. And slowly peeling the hands away, blinking the eyes open, coming back to your space. Maybe rubbing your face, giving it a little massage, maybe the neck or the shoulders. Just touching the skin, bringing back this attention to the now, to the body, to your space, to where you are, to the physical moment. We're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, roll the shoulders down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Grab your pen and paper. Let's write down any words, any thoughts, any feelings, any sentences, paragraphs, pages of reflection from today. Thanks, Katrina. And yeah, once you're done, I just want to say thanks so much for coming. Please thank yourself for coming. If you need to run off, please go. I'm teaching Stretch and Relax tomorrow, so hopefully see some of you there. And yeah, I hope everyone is doing really, really well and can have a great day or week of communication with either yourself or anyone else. It might even be a pet, anything at all. Oh, thanks, Awa. Good to have you here. Yeah, have a lovely day, everyone. Have a great week. Drink lots of water. Thanks, Shona. Bye, everyone.